Hi, welcome to the Stockinette Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janitma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 141. The one where Megan bought a lot of yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't showed it to Amy. We're trying to keep it fresh. Fresh. So you can get genuine reactions. But I had a really good trip to Chicago. There was a lot of driving and talking involved in getting there and getting back. And then kind of just hung out at the hotel and got to knit and shop. I didn't take any classes, although I heard some really good things about the classes that folks took. Somebody told me they took 3 Amy Herzog classes while they were there.
Wow.
Yeah.
All one person, huh?
Yes. Same person took class 3 times. Or not the same class 3 times. 3 different Amy Herzog classes. And it was wonderful to meet anybody that came up and introduced themselves. And I introduced myself to a fair number of people, and there's stories to be told and whatnot. But in general, good time had by all, I think. I mean, if the number of purchases I have is any indication of my satisfaction, you can be the judge.
Cool.
Yeah, I went a little crazy, but it's hard not to.
It is a frenzy.
It is. Well, I didn't feel like it was a diminishing, like I had to get this because somebody else would get it. But in general, on the multi-day events, you don't have that option on like the single-day events. Like the first day, got there on Friday, kind of wandered up and down the aisles, you know. As things caught me, I looked at them, but I didn't buy anything that first day. And then what was still like resonating, or maybe I bought one thing, but was still resonating in my mind the next day.
Okay.
Is what I went back and picked up and purchased. So
okay.
Yeah, night to sleep on it type thing.
Yep.
You had some Yarny fun in my absence.
Yeah, more wine fun than Yarny fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, so on Friday I had lunch with our friend Lane, who is moving soon.
Mm-hmm.
So that was fun. Got to talk to her a little bit more. And what else? Then on Saturday, went to the winery with Karen, Balke, or Balky.
Yes.
Changed her avatar to Perfect Strangers.
Which is what comes to mind.
Yeah.
When you think of Balky.
Standing tall on the wings of a tree. So, yeah, that was fun. Bought a lot of wine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did. Tasted a lot of wine and then bought a lot of wine, which is, you know, their
the right
plan.
order.
Yeah,
the right order.
Their plan was to hook us in with their inexpensive tasting and then make us want to buy all the wine.
Yes.
But yeah, that was fun. I kind of looked at them as a possible excursion to maybe, you know, back off the yarn crawl and maybe do a wine tasting or, you know, just trying
something
to think
different.
of ideas, something different. And it sounded like it would be a really fun day. You know, like a little tour and tasting and come home with a souvenir glass.
I can't remember what one. My husband has actually biked out to one of the wineries. Is it close by, the one you went to?
Yeah, it's 25 minutes, 30 minutes. It's
Maybe he went to a closer one because that sounds
Spring
like
Valley.
a really far bike. Well, okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, that could be it. I don't know.
And maybe I wasn't driving, so maybe the time flew by on the way there.
Yeah.
But
Fun.
yeah, it was good and got to relax and chill for a few hours there.
Did you knit or did you just primarily imbibe?
We knit.
Okay.
Yeah. Karen had to stop early because she didn't bring her first finished sock to match the second finished sock, so she wasn't sure when things were supposed to happen to make them match. So
Yep.
to stop.
You think you're packing light, and then you shoot yourself in the foot, literally.
Not quite.
Yeah. Not quite literally. I'm using literally wrong in that case. That would be figuratively shot yourself in the foot. Administrati. Do you have any administrati, or are you done? Or did you have another story to tell?
No, I don't think so. Oh, I had a little one. Oh, my son was doing Mad Libs.
Yep, we've done those before.
And that was kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, I thought I had something else, but I must not.
Okay.
I still haven't gotten my finished object picture of the literally over the top.
And I still haven't weighed your yarn.
We're even.
All right, administrating. We have a fingering weight KAL going on.
Yes, we do.
You have some fingering weight things that you're working on. I have another fingering weight, something I'm working on. This is not fingering weight. I was just thinking of things that were involved in our own KAL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe some secret fingering weight things that I can't show. But that goes on until the end of August. So when we've got a bag and some yarn from Solar Flare, and we also have a self-striping KAL that if you use fingering weight yarn for that, you can double dip. And the sponsor this month is Curvy Wurvy Yarns. And I think that's all the KALs that we currently have going on. I've had the cool clavicle cover and the expanding community that can kind of be, again, used in collaboration and conglomeration with the fingering weight KAL, because they're both for fingering weight. But that's that. We have, and I'll let you can speak to it, we have decided that we are going to, even though we're just going to live it up in October. We're going
/ early November.
Yeah, we're going to Rhinebeck, but you know what? We're going to come back and still have the zombie birthday party in Stillwater. And that will be the weekend of November 1st, because if we did it the previous weekend, it wouldn't be close to our actual zombie birthday, and it would be like coming back from Rhinebeck and immediately going on another vacation.
Yeah. Be a little tough to do.
Yeah, so if you're in the area, if you're in Minnesota and you're interested, or Wisconsin, or you can come from anywhere. It doesn't have to just be Minnesota or Iowa or...
But it is a short turnaround event.
Yes, yeah.
You just have one day, one night. Maybe you'll see it as breakfast and then...
Yeah. Friday, we did go up Friday night last year and stay, and then we're able to get an early start on Saturday. We still haven't talked through that, but we stay at the Crossings at Stillwater. And did you want to talk details?
There's a wedding going on at the same time, so we're unable to get the two queen bed rooms in our block, but our block has king size suites. So if you do not want to sleep in that giant bed where you will not touch each other, you can sleep in the hide-a-bed that's in the sofa that's in the other room. Or if you want to triple up, and get more people in your room, that's also an option. And then after October 1st, that's when the blocks expire. That will open you up to then try to change your room to something else if you must. But the wedding does have those rooms in their block, and they will not release them until October 1st.
And that was $84, you said?
$84 for the king suite, which is really reasonable. I think that our rooms last year were queens, and they were a little bit more, so I don't know what happened between last year and this year. Maybe they're just being more generous with their group rates. They trust that we're nice people and we won't trash the place. Gave us a little discount. I don't know.
Or maybe they realized that we're going to be like the overflow, like with the icing on top. So
true.
Let's get those gals in. So yeah, that's Crossings at Stillwater. November 1st is the Saturday, and we'll hang out, and they've got like a little breakfast area, continental breakfast area that we hang out in, and we go to the very wonderful yarn shop, the LYS there in Stillwater.
Yep.
And just have a grand old time. It's very low key, but you can come and hang out and have fun.
Yes, I haven't contacted Amy, the shop owner in Stillwater, yet. maybe I can see what, if there's anything bigger available or different available. Please let us know if you plan on coming, because that'll help us warn Amy as to how many people will be crammed into her back room.
Yep.
It's not back room really, it's just the far end of the shop. And it's amongst all the yarn and
they always have stuff going on.
Yes,
They've
they
got
do.
Classes and all kinds of stuff going on. So fun getaway weekend, take a vacation from our vacation type scenario. And then along with that, our birthday kits, the pre-order is Friday, August 22nd. So if you're watching it and it's, say, the 12th or 13th, probably not the 12th or the 13th, the 14th, because that's when I'm going to publish it. August 14th, you can go, oh, next Friday. Or if you're watching us and it's Monday, and the 22nd is just like the upcoming Friday. But those are pre-orders. They are a surprise. They are something that we have done the last 2 years to kind of celebrate and do fun things. Amy and I both contribute a pattern, and there is yarn and a bag and other fun goodies. And that is all you get to know. And you pre-order August 22nd, as I mentioned, and then they will be shipping out in October.
Yes.
And so international, in the past we've charged a flat fee and then charged the shipping, reimbursed the shipping after that. And we'll probably do something similar this year. I think last year we ended up giving like maybe $5 back. I can't remember now off the top of my head on the international shipping.
Yeah, but shipping's gone up since then, so
it's true.
It could be a wash.
Good.
Yeah, and I've got designer's block, so who knows what my pattern's gonna look like.
I've got a lot of patterns on the needles, so I
One of them will be ours.
Here's hoping. But no, it's fun. We enjoy it, and we generally do a KAL with the patterns.
Yep.
And the patterns are also available not as part of the kit.
They will be after the surprise.
Yep, after the surprise is out. So you get the first go at them as part of the kit, though. And that's that. In Minestrone. Woot!
Yay.
Yeah. Seems like we've got a lot going on. Super excited about everything that we've got going on. But a lot of dates to remember and things to line up. And I did mention price just now, right? I said $35 plus $5 shipping. Domestic?
Yes,
okay.
Domestic.
Sometimes you talk so much you forget what you said.
But please look at the price before you click buy. Always a good idea.
Yes. Do. And those will be on the StockinAtZombies.com website. We kind of spread things. I was thinking about that. We spread things across, so the retreat is on Zombie Knitpocalypse, and then the podcast and the show notes are on StockinAtZombies.com, and then we've also got a very active, lively, sometimes livelier than others, Ravelry board. Yeah. So come and join us over there as well. But the kits will definitely be for sale on the Stocking Zombies website on August 22nd, Friday. Yep. And away we go. Administrati has been administrated. It's a verb. Sure. Do you have any FOs?
I do not.
Do not. Okay. I get to talk again.
And easy.
No. Don't. You did that on purpose. I finished my Lawrence out of Marigold Jen, Amy's Punky Plum. I'm now looking at it, trying to find the place where I did my wrap and turns, which I will show you because I am an honest knitter. That is where because this is all done in garter, this line right here, you can kind of see it rolls in a little bit, the line does. I had to look for it, you saw me just look here, but it's all done in garter, so instead of doing a bunch of purl rows, I decided I was going to knit from the outside and the inside, and then you do a wrap and turn on a line. I really like this motif. It was super simple to memorize and do. I think it really breaks up and really accentuates with the garter. It's asymmetrical, so it's not down the center. And the modifications that I made, I'm going to put, just because I want to, the little funny thing in the back. I actually kind of like that it's a little different, because now I know what the back is. Because I'm weird like that. I like that things have tags so that I know where the front and the back is. And this is going to probably look a little weird with my red shirt underneath it. But I can do the little, I think it was on Full House, where Joey would be like, I'm going into the basement.
No, Joey.
And walk down the...
Cut it out.
Exactly. And modifications I made. So I knit a sleeve, and then I started doing the other sleeve, and I was like, oh, I'm going to try it on, because, you know, you do that. I want to do that. And the welts, they had you right where the raglan, where you separated for sleeves, was right where you went right into the welts. And I have extra yarn, and that was a lot of bulk in your underarm. I'm not going to lie. Like, so this was like immediately right here. And I was like, I don't like the way that fits. And so I ripped out one sleeve, and I redid and added some length, just a few decreases, and made it, you know, this little half sleeve, would you say? And so that was one modification, lengthen the sleeves, because I didn't want the welts under my arms. Who wants welts under their arms, really? Nope, nobody. I do not. I will answer for you, nobody. And then I made the neck, I think it's pretty similar length, but I made it skinnier around, so it's not really as, she had it like way down here. I could have blocked it, and I still can get it wet or spot block it.
That is a good point. You still can.
I still can. It's, I don't know, I like it here. I don't want it like clear down the front. And yarn washed up like a dream. I always take kind of a superstitious picture before things go into the washing machine for the first time. Again, washed up really nice, and it's warm.
Yeah,
I bet. It's with the neck and some longer sleeves, but I really like it. It's a very, I wouldn't say overly straightforward pattern, but I mean, it's not like super uber complicated either. There's no short rows or anything. I complicated it. Yeah, I guess is what you could say. But I was modifying it for me. It's me. It's memified. Memified. And it's purple. I don't have a lot of purple in my knitting wardrobe that I can think of. Cool. Yeah. And that's all I've got to say about that. I might take it off.
Yes, you might want to.
Or you guys can just sit here and watch my face turn red. Oh, but it was good to have the sweater quantity out. I bet. It'll be a, and the leftovers will be a good hat. I think. Hat plus possibly mitts.
Oh, wow.
Lots. Yeah, I had a pretty good size ball, full ball, and then a sizable other ball. Yeah. I haven't weighed it because I haven't done my weighing. I haven't weighed your ball. Nope. And I haven't weighed mine. But I can do that. I have a scale. We can do it right here. We can do a spot check right here.
We have the technology.
We have the technology. What are you working on over there, madame?
I am working on my Octo guy, the Dandy Sir cephalopod.
Oh, it is cephalopod.
Again, I didn't double check, but I going with that.
I think it's a better alliteration.
Yeah,
we'll go with Dandy Sir cephalopod.
And so you knit the legs first. Genius. You don't want to have too much to do afterwards. I was gonna weave in the ends at the bottom of the feet because that was my goal tonight, was to weave in all the ends of various things that I'd been working on, and I only got through the sweater. So these are still hanging out like crazy, but there's 7 of them, and I'm working on number 8.
Fringe-tastic.
So it's gonna be done very soon.
I used good sir in normal conversation as stitches. Like somebody opened a door and I said, thank you, good sir. And I believe it was Java Jenny accused me of calling the man Wolf Blitzer. She's like, did you just call that man Wolf Blitzer? And he did kind of look like Wolf Blitzer. But just so you know, be aware. If you're going to say good sir, it does kind of sound like Wolf Blitzer. Okay. It can be misheard. FYI. Oh, you got another wee monster.
I was working on Wild Thing, also from Susan Claudino.
Mega hot.
For a while now, actually, but I got some gumption going, and this is another, like, I wanted to weave in all the ends because I didn't do it before I started putting him together. And I got through his feet and part of his arm, but no, yeah, I am missing a appendage. No, a needle inside the thing.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Live stitches!
Live stitches on live air. What yarn are you using? Can you speak to that as you pick up stitches?
The brown is a Jeanette MCN.
Sun Valley Fibers.
Sun Valley Fibers, sorry.
I'll translate.
Thank you. And the colored pajamas are a Dancing Dog Dye Works. Boo colorway, so it's very Halloween appropriate. And he's got his little pajama flap at the back. Oh, he's so cute. But yeah, this is what he looks like without a head and lots of string. So I guess if sewing in all those ends scares you, maybe there's some tips and tricks out there for hiding these as you put them in, but I didn't. And maybe it's part of, like, as you finish them, before you start putting them in your monster, you weave them in so that you're not doing that right at the end.
I'm with you though. I go in spurts. You know, like I'll be like, this is really bothering me. I gotta weave in these ends, and then there's other times you couldn't pay me to weave in those ends.
Exactly. And now I'm worried that I am missing one of my new needles.
New needles, you said?
Well, I bought them. No, got it. Where did I buy them?
That looks kind of
oh, my Loopy U order. I added
voodoo-esque.
Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah, especially if you look like a Wild Thing monster.
Mm-hmm.
So he is uber adorable, tiny, so super tiny, so cute. I like making the sock weight ones.
Has a child laid claim to said animal?
No, the children have not seen that one as much. They've seen the feet of the octopus. I guess I've just been working on that one later at night. And like I got through the body and I was gonna work the head, and all those ends were driving me crazy, so I wanted to get those all tucked in before I went on. And there's more things like ears and horns that you have to get done before you can work the head as well. So
it drives me crazy.
And again, the pattern was supposed to do them before I got this far, but I decided, no, I've already knit a bajillion little toes, and I'm done knitting the little things.
Mm-hmm.
So get to that later.
Super cute.
And then I have the 2 fingering weight sweaters, then the Ginny, and then nothing significant on those 3 sweaters that were started in the frenzy of must cast on all the things. But I did get more progress on the gamut.
I did look for gamut, not only in another Crafty Girls booth,
okay,
but also in Jeanette's booth, and he was not found.
No gamut. Okay.
Well, she had some sparkly gamut, and then I was like, that's not really going to jive.
No.
But I knew you were confident that you would be able to make it work with the gray, so.
Yes, and when it was dyed up for me, she had dyed up a lot.
All in, yeah.
And then she had given me the best matching 4, so I can't even, it might have been.
Oh no, it would have been a
different.
total shot in the dark, and
yeah.
I would have just had to keep it if it had kind of looked like it was going to fit.
But woohoo! Have something that I could wear.
Without a button band, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. It's unfinished. I did not have a finished object this week.
But you could wear it.
Yeah, I could wear it. So that is my gamut sweater. And I'm going to get
And this
a
is
gray
all part of the pattern?
Nope, this was modification Amy.
Okay.
So, you were supposed to have the same color on the after you join in the sleeves. It was the same color all the way up. And I knew that I was going to want to modify that because I was going to run out of yarn. And I knew that I wanted a saddle shoulder type of finish on the top.
Hi.
And so I did a little bit of intarsia on the top because this is knit in one piece. And so the sleeves were intarsiaed until you got to the top, and then everything was tucked in. And none of this is blocked, so it feels a little wonky. Like, I think once I block it, because everything was knit in different pieces and it was just recently assembled, it just all feels like it's not of the same garment yet. But
it hasn't been assimilated.
Yes. And I would really like it to have the button band because then these things will flatten out and you will see that they are lovely. And it's a nice V-neck that comes down to there and buttons. And
are you going to pick up on the gray as well? Is it go all the way up here, all the way up and around?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll be picking up gray on gray?
Yes.
Yep.
It'll be all gray button band because that's what I have. Here's the gray, 60 grams, 62 grams. So I'm feeling that will be enough. And then this.
I was doubtful.
So now I might have enough to even put little pockets.
Oh.
Because that was another original thought when I was putting this idea together in my mind of the saddle shoulder was to have pockets there. So I'm going to get through the button band, make sure I have enough.
Looks really nice
to do what I want
shirt
to do.
You've got on too.
Oh yeah,
really kind of the purple coordinates well.
And then yeah, so super excited to get
It's awesome
started on that button band, but I wanted to be able to try it on without needles poking everywhere. So I decided to make sure that everything was sewn in, and so you see there's no dangling on the sleeves and there's nothing hanging out on the shoulders. So as long as it wasn't a thread that was along the button band, I sewed it in. So everything will be along the button band when I sew it in.
Excellent.
So easy to sew things in along the button band. And
so this is the answer to the question, what are you going to do with all that gamut?
Yes, this is what I'm going to do with all that gamut. Had a vision.
Very pretty.
And it worked out.
Yes. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And you alternated skeins throughout?
I did. So you can kind of see that alternating tightness in here because it's not been blocked.
That'll all block.
Yeah, it will. It will block. I know that from experience that, as you're switching colors and you're creating that line on the inside, it does look more seamed right along here. But it'll block out. And you'll still see some seam, but it won't look as tight. And like I said, it doesn't feel like it's all one garment yet because of that. Like the sleeves seem to be poofing, but I know that they're the right size. And the button band will pull it all in like this. Because right now it's kind of, I don't know, it's feeling wobbly. But I think it looks nice. But now, time for button bands.
Yes,
Yay.
fun, fun, fun. Lots of stitches to pick up though.
Oh, and knit.
And long rows.
Yes, long slog rows.
Oh,
yeah. So how big is that row? Let's see. I don't know. From there to there, all the way around.
Yeah.
It's like the tail end of a shawl.
It'll be awesome when you get it done.
Yay!
Yes.
So that is gamut, and that's all that's fit to show.
All right, because you made a lot of progress.
Yes, this was the majority of it, and then little animal parts.
Dismembered animal parts. All right, I have the cool clavicle cover that I cast on that is was primarily what I worked on at Stitches. It is, and I've got the little thing in here somewhere. I wrote down. I went back on Ravelry and found this was hand spun by Perky Knits, and it is 348 yards of a fingering-ish. It's a heavy fingering. If you think about it as like 100 grams, 348 is a heavy fingering. It's a wool gathering, a merino bamboo silk. So I was right. It does have bamboo in it, and the silk gives it a little shine. I am on the starting the 5th section, and I've still got quite a bit left. So I was thinking it was going to have to be short because I've written the pattern to use up all 400 yards, but I might have a little extra. And there were some gals that bought some Yowza Wutta skeins in worsted and are knitting the Sarah and Susan out of it. So I'm interested to see how that works up. Yeah, it is a good match for the crazy colorway that is Yowza Wutta skeins, a lot of them, and it's a good match for this hand spun too. I really like it. It's very bright. Kind of have to figure out where it's going to go, who's going to live with. Alright, and then I, on the way back home, cast on a Poolside by Isabel Kramer. So it's a kind of a raglan, ends right here, and then goes down into some lace work that's supposed to kind of look like water. Yeah. Deeply textured and lattice lace pattern for visual and, of course, knitting interest. And I would agree. This lace is very interesting to me. It is out of Pigeon Roof Studios in their DK base. I don't know if it's the same DK base. I bought it a while ago, as they have out there. It's Cassiopeia DK, and this is Greenstone is the colorway. And so when I separated for the sleeves, I actually changed skeins right away, and I saved the what I was working on with the top so that I can alternate skeins back and forth. In raglans, I've really noticed recently that I'll just continue working with the two after I separate for sleeves, and then I'm joining a completely random ball to these little sleeve endings, and you often see the line unless it's a really crazy colorway or unless the two skeins are very closely matched. So I think that that's a good tip. Save your, you can stripe or you can alternate in a new skein and then save your one of your top skeins. And yeah, it's a really fun lace pattern. It's, as it said, it's very deeply textured. You wear it over the top of something. And I'm going to have quite a bit left. I've got this whole skein and then another skein. So I'll probably, the pattern is written for like 3/4 length sleeves, and I might make it, or maybe bracelet sleeves. I might make it full sleeves. Although I do really like a shorter sleeve, because then when you zhuzh, you don't have as much bulk in your elbow armpit.
And you know that you're going to zhuzh.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
It's just who you are.
That's who I am. I cannot deny it. And
kind
so
of like tucking your hair behind your ears.
Yep,
You know
yep.
you're going to zhuzh.
Yeah. You get your hair cut and they've got it all styled, pretty, and the first thing I do, like subconsciously. Yeah. That's what I do. So yeah, I really love this green. I was halfway tempted to use some of the blue that I have in my stash because it's poolside and matchy, but ultimately the green won out. And this is a very old sweater quantity that I've had in my stash, so I'm getting the highly marinated stuff out.
Good.
Yeah, and I tried it on. It's nice, and the pattern mentions that there is no shaping through here because it is a really highly textured lattice pattern, so it would be hard to work in increases. And they said you can block it into an A-line shape, which kind of was like, You know, I mean, if your stitch pattern has a lot of give, you can do that, right?
Yep.
Either through needle size, like going up a needle size, or you know, just through stretching the wool in certain places more. And I was like, good point, pattern.
Yeah, and we have the Sunspots one had you going up a needle size after 2
for shaping.
readings. Yeah,
Fun. And that is my work in progress. I have a NAP, a needle adjacent project that is Sun Valley Fibers on the Leavenwick. So I skeined up that, and that's the last of the yarn that I skeined up for this month in the Dijon colorway. Yes. And I'm planning on making the neck really skinny because a lot of people, I believe it was Megan, said to get it to look like the pattern you have to do the smallest size in the pattern and then increase up for the raglans. Otherwise it's really floppity.
Okay.
It's got a little zigzaggy down the front. But super soft MCN. Really love this color. The pattern is modeled in a very similar color. But again, deep stash. First zombie birthday party is when I bought that MCN from Sun Valley.
Mine is still in stash. You're gonna
if you ball it up,
nope.
It gets close. It gets closer to being a project.
It's another fingering weight? I don't think so. The next thing I pull out is gonna be worsted DK something.
Zoom. Yeah, I've had 2 recent heavier weight projects that have felt like zoom. All right, so gluttonous stitches purchases. I can only claim that there was lots of lovelies, and there was still stuff that I wanted, but I walked away. New to me, Sophie's Toes. Emily is fantastic. She's very, very nice. Twinkle, twinkle, twinkle. She had these trio sets in MCN. This gray-y black just slays me. And then you combo it with the silvery gray and the blue, and it's just like, oh, it sang to me on the shelf. Sang to me, this trio did. And I want to knit a literally over-the-top color block.
Oh,
So I think it'll be super fun, and probably do the bottom ribbing in the black, because you kind of want the darker colors down
and
at
you're
the
gonna
bottom.
have leftovers, so you're gonna make a matching cowl or something.
Maybe. Could do that as well, like one of those in the round stripy ones. But I don't know if I want to do the black up at the top to match the bottom band, because you want the darker colors on the bottom. Anyway, color theory. So, Sophie's Toes, and it's like butter. Oh, wonderful. Mrs. Babs was there in full effect, and she has her Katahdin base, which is a 4-ply VFL in her mega skein, and you know how I'm kind of a sucker for the mega skein. I have pushed this pin through there and gotten it hopelessly tangled in the yarn. I'll detangle it at some other point. But, so yeah, it's a 4-ply.
This is heavy.
Yes. 1,700 yards of a light fingering BFL. And you know BFL is my BFF. And this is the windswept colorway. So it has some very light blues. Yes, it's a substantial skein with a pin stuck in it. Which might make it harder to ball up. Just saying. Freed. But yeah, it's lighter. And I sat there and looked and looked and looked. Her booth is one of those places where all of the choices just slay you. Like, I think I had at one time like 5 of these, and I was like, this one or this one. But ultimately, this blue won out, and it could be a large, beautiful something. Don't know what. Haven't decided yet. Next up, I have No Makers, and I got some Birdie Bots in her worsted squishy gnome, and I think this will make a beautiful like Measure in Love. Can make a very good for good, and the base it's so soft and squishy. I haven't had her worsted before. It's very nice. And Amanda is just delightful. Just a fantastic gal to sit there and talk with. And Her booth, I think, was my favorite as far as decor and setup.
Oh, okay.
Every single one of these. So you look at it and you're like, what is it gonna knit up like? You know, like you kind of think, you know, it's loud and splashy, and you're like, what is that gonna knit up? She has little flags, like pennant type flags.
I saw that picture.
Every single one of her colorways. Okay. So I picked up this Mr. Frankie, which is a Frankenstein-esque Halloween holiday special yarn, and I could go find the flag and see what it ended up like in the little flag. Cool. So yeah, this is her house gnome, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's my colors. So with kind of a minty green and some gray. Love, love, love it. It was not lost on me that I have a Miracle Gen with a little bit more neon that's very similar, but I fell in love with it. It was calling to me while I was talking to Amanda. No makers. Next up are two new to me bases that I could not walk away from. So Dragonfly Fibers was there, and Miss Kate is delightful, and she was wearing a wonderful top, and it just looks so nice and comfy and but yet lightweight, and had some nice drape. And I asked her what the base was, and it is her Dance Rustic Silk base. So this is silk noil, and she explained to me that silk noil, and I probably asked way too many questions, but silk noil is the bits that are left over after they do the cocooning, drawing the silk out of the cocoon, and super reasonable. Each one of these skeins was 450 yards, $18 for a silk that's kind of cottony. You know, it's like it'll be a good summer garment.
Silk is warm though.
It is, but it's lightweight, and it's, you know, so it won't weigh heavily on me. Yeah. But it will keep me would keep me warm. Cut some cold weather, and after spending a significant amount of time with Corey, this color somehow crept into my color selection. She didn't pick it out for me. It's Pumpkinhead. But I'd seen enough of it over the weekend that I was like, you know what? I don't have enough of this orangey color in my stash. And I, ultimately enabled myself. Yeah. I don't have that in my stash, and I don't never knit with silk noil. So it's so wonderful. Squishy, lightweight, like a significant, like if you, this is 150 grams, isn't it? Maybe it's more. But 150 grams. This is a lot heavier than this. Mm-hmm. No, they would be the same. It just feels denser. That's what I'm getting at. 150 grams is 150 grams. You're screaming at me, the scientists out there. I know you are. But yeah, Dragonfly Fibers. All of her colors scream to me. Wonderful, saturated, beautiful colors. And last but not least, I'm just going to hand this to Amy and let her feel it. Okay. Is from Kismet. They had some wonderful, unique bases there. I fell in love with it as it was on the wall because of the color saturation. I was like, that is silk, but that's silk. It took that dye really well. And it is a 50% baby camel, 50% silk. It is so soft. And I don't think that I think it has a little bit less of a halo than an alpaca, the camel does. And I was also sort of worried about the way it was going to wash up. And again, I enabled myself here. And I was like, so how is this? I love this color. It's so soft, so soft. I mean, I can't even describe in words how soft this is. Like, wonderful people at the booth. They were like, but I'm worried, I'm worried about like cashmere, the staple length. Sometimes it doesn't, you wash it up and it just kind of, it's ethereal and flitters away. And they had a Hito Fude knit out of this base that's been put on the, and washed several times, and it washed up like a dream. So I was like, done and done. soft, and it washes up nice, and it doesn't have a huge halo.
So not quite 900 yards though. What are you gonna make?
I could make another Hito Fude, or a short sleeve, something. Okay. Maybe a Henley with 3/4 length sleeves. It was not cheap, but it is so very soft. So very soft. And that is Kismet. And they were super nice. This is their Refuge base. 438, 90 grams. KismetFiberworks.etsy.com. And that was my purchases. So I came home with a couple of one-off sea skeins, but ultimately some more sweater quantities to add to my sweater quantity count. Not that anybody's counting. And, but wonderful stuff. Stuff that I've never seen before. And that's what enabled me. And that's lovely. Yes, that is my purchases. And I have to find a way to work it into my stash bins. Work it in. I have been making some room in it. So by balling up all this stuff and working it up, working through it. So hopefully it'll all fit in and I can continue to forge forward. But I think that's the end. That's the binge that ends the end of the yarn diet. Oh. The hiatus from the yarn diet. The end of the yarn diet.
Okay. You're back on the wagon, is what you're saying.
It's official.
Okay.
Yes. I have some purchases that also arrived insanely fast from Germany. Like I bought it going, I'm going to go back on my yarn diet and this will be a present to 4 weeks from now, Megan.
Oh, I
And
see.
they got here in a week.
Wow.
From Germany, if you can believe that.
You're not.
Mind blown. But I'll show that to you next week because I don't want to be a huge yarn pig.
I bought wine. So I enabled you 4 Daughters Winery. Yeah, that was my big splurge purchase. Okay, that
wine is a resource that you use up probably a little more quickly than yarn, and yeah. So
that is faux sure.
That's good. That is all I have. I feel as if I have aired my, it's like a confessional.
Yes.
I have to say like 4 Hail
Do you
Marys
have a list for Rhinebeck that's going to be abbreviated?
Yeah. I mean, again, so the yarn diet included being able to shop at events.
Right.
So this was legit. This
right.
was on the yarn diet. Yeah. Crazy beans. I haven't looked at the list yet. Okay. I might just meander. I don't have the luxury of doing the 2-day what resonates with me thing like I did this time at Rhinebeck, but I definitely got the stuff at Miss Babs because I know that Miss Babs has big lines at Rhinebeck, and there was no big lines here. Like I think I waited in line maybe a couple of minutes to pay versus hours I've heard at Rhinebeck. So yeah, I don't really, I mean, I think I definitely want to work more color work into my projects, and so maybe I'll pick up some more, rustic,
substantial
stuff for color work.
My plan is to stick to buying a spindle. So, and I understand from some of the vendors there that might be a big process. That might take a lot of my day. 1, looking at all that they have, and then 2, standing in the line. So I think that that's a good goal. Splurge. Don't necessarily look too closely at the price. Just pick a spindle that calls to you. Make sure it's not like insane, and then get in line and buy that. Because I don't know how expensive they can get, but I know that some of them start at like 90, right? So like some of these companies or artisans, when they're coming to the show, and they've prepared it all. You could go there and search for like, oh, I want to just buy a little something here, and this is beautiful, and it's $90, and that's the low end. So, and I know that. I just don't want to accidentally pick up some sort of like $300 high end stick. Spindle. You know, yes, it's a very expensive stick. Weighted stick. So I appreciate them, and I know that their craftsmanship is worth it.
You're not there yet.
Yeah, I'm not there.
You're not I was trying to think of, we were just talking about knitter with a capital K, so it would be like a
spindle spinner with a capital S. Yeah.
Yeah. Not quite there yet.
I mean, I love what I have, but and I tried to order a Bosworth, but indecision overwhelmed me, and I told them that I would take the one that they had suggested to me, and I haven't heard from them since I said I would take it. So I have no idea if in a month they're going to say, that spindle's ready for you to purchase. Yeah. Again, hit with indecision, and I hemmed and hawed with them for a very long time, so I don't know if the original one that they offered me was sold in between then, and that's why they're waiting to get back to me. You know, they're like, oh, make sure we have another one in stock before we go. I don't know, but I'm probably
it's spindle fate.
Yeah,
you'll get the right one.
It is. I'm letting it go to fate at this point. I do not want to be like the person who goes, I know that I was wishy-washy and wobbly and all that stuff, but now I'm ready to commit, and you should really pay attention to me now, even though like you've worked with me very well for the last couple weeks, and I still couldn't make a decision.
If you like attention.
Yeah, I know, right? I was really bad.
Yeah.
I could not commit.
Put a ring on it, man. Put a ring on it.
Not commit.
I have been singy-songy this episode. Sorry if you don't like my singing voice.
It's quite awful.
It is. It's horrible.
Bye.
Bye, Ufta.